First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
In 1 hour, Florida is set to carry out its 17th execution of the year. Welcome to First at 5. I'm Allison Bonnemaison.
And I'm Alex Land. U.S. Army veteran Richard Malik Randolph is scheduled for the death penalty for the murder of Putnam County woman Minnie Ruth McCollum. Floridians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty plan to delay the execution by handing over almost 5,000 petition signatures for Governor DeSantis. FAPD is gathered outside Florida State Prison for a peaceful protest.
Switching gears now, we're taking a live look over Paynes Prairie on our DOT cameras. The weather is looking nice with a small breeze heading over and a small sunset inching its way to the horizon. For the state that doesn't get seasons, we do have colorful sunsets. However, many counties are under a burn ban because the moisture in the air is starting to set. UF forecaster Matthew Clark is live in the weather studio to tell you about the dry air and how the weather could affect your Thanksgiving week.
Well, there's a wet season and then there is a dry season in Florida, and we are currently seeing abnormally dry conditions for the dry season. Drought continues to worsen across much of the Panhandle, and pretty much all of north central Florida is now under some sort of dry conditions, spanning from southeast Marion County, which is abnormally dry, and the further north towards the Panhandle. There is now extreme and exceptional levels of drought in Tallahassee and southern Georgia. So the drought is only going to continue to worsen as we have just been gridlocked by a high pressure system over our area. And it's not like the weather has been completely shut off. I mean, we've just seen lots of sunshine really over the past 10 days, but there's been active weather, lots of downpours and thunderstorms for portions of central Texas. We definitely need some of that rain, but that high pressure system just keeps nudging those fronts to our north, keeping us warm and dry. 83 in Gainesville, near record high temperatures for this time of year. Another mild evening in store and some fog for the morning commute tomorrow morning and Saturday morning. I will have what you need to know on that and possibly a Thanksgiving cool down coming up in a few minutes.
The dry season is among us and affecting multiple counties in the area. 2 different fires sparked in Bradford County a few hours ago. The first was near Hayes Avenue and was quickly extinguished by BCFR. The second was near Brooker, but the fire department also quickly had it under control.
A wildfire sparked up in Alachua County Wednesday afternoon, and fire crews say it consumed a barn filled with hay in flames, which intensified the fire. Alachua County Fire Rescue, Newberry Fire Rescue, and the Florida Forest Service were able to contain the flames. First responders say no one was hurt. Firefighters are urging neighbors to adhere to burn regulations when disposing of yard debris.
A rabies alert was issued in Marion County. A raccoon was confirmed to have rabies, but it was killed near the Meadowwood Farms area. The Florida Department of Health is warning neighbors to be aware of wild animals. The rabies alert will continue for 60 days around the boundary shown on your screen. DOH Marion says it's best to stay safe by supervising your pets and livestock. Call animal control if you need to remove any stray animals from your neighborhood. An Alachua County man was charged with aggravated assault after deputies say he pointed a gun during a road rage encounter Wednesday. According to ACSO, 27-year-old Jalen Parks was driving west on Northwest 39th Avenue and threw a coffee cup at another car. Investigators say he then pulled out a gun when confronted by the driver. The driver called 911 after getting Parks' tag number. Parks was taken into custody after a traffic stop. Detectives say the pistol was found on the floor in the back seat of the car.
With Thanksgiving right around the corner, the question of how long leftovers last is on people's mind. While some people keep them until it's gone, others are more watchful. WUFT's Alabama Weninegar is live in the newsroom to tell us about food safety precautions you can take this holiday season.
Thanksgiving is a time of year for families to come together and connect over food. In the midst of all this excitement, it is crucial to know how to properly prep, cook, and store your food to keep holiday spirits high and everyone healthy.
All of my family takes out time of the year to make sure all 80 of us see each other on Thanksgiving.
The main course of Thanksgiving, the food. And the Florida Department of Health wants neighbors to practice caution when preparing the big feast. Some tips include making sure you completely thaw out your meat and keep raw and cooked foods separate. But after dinner is served and the holiday is over, those safety measures still need to stay top of mind. We asked several locals just how long they chow down on Thanksgiving leftovers.
My Thanksgiving leftovers could take me to New Year's. It doesn't really matter to me. As long as I don't see nothing on it, it's good enough to eat. And as long as I keep it in the freezer or the fridge, I'll take it down. It doesn't matter.
Maybe 3 days. I think that's like a good, some stuff can last longer, like cranberry sauce you can stretch. Sometimes the turkey you can put it like in soup and stretch it, but like I'd say for like your stuffing, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, like you got like 3 days of room before they start to go bad.
Probably like a week. I can't lie, because my family, I have a really big family, so we normally keep a lot of leftovers, and we just munch on that like throughout the week. But I think past the week is kind of crazy, so I'd say just 1 week max.
The USDA says the ideal leftover time is 3 to 4 days in the fridge and 3 to 4 months if kept frozen. They say this all in an effort to prevent foodborne illnesses. But no matter how long you chow down on the leftovers, people I spoke to say they're just happy for the opportunity to be around their loved ones.
The process of making the dishes with my grandma, just because, you know, she's getting older, we're all getting older, so just cherishing those moments with her and just like taking in everything.
Last but not least, be sure to refrigerate your leftovers within 2 hours after dinner. Keep these tips in mind while enjoying all your upcoming holiday meals. Live in the newsroom, Alabama Weninegar, WUFT News.
Whether you throw away your Thanksgiving leftovers or save them for later, Alachua County is making sure you at least have food on the table. The 6 family resource centers on your screen is distributing fresh produce next week through a farm in Hawthorne. This is one way Alachua County is using its $200,000 funding grant to expand food distribution across the county.
Coming up on First at 5, we give you a behind-the-scenes look at a dance troupe defying expectations.
How the new Florida Follies are proving that the spotlight has no age limit. Stay with us.
WUFT-TV News.
A dance troupe in South Florida is proving that the stage has no limits.
I got the behind the scenes of a senior dance troupe whose tapping toes won't stop. On Sample Road in Coral Springs, the cars are loud. But on Friday mornings, the noise inside the studio
Go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
is even louder.
Keep going.
Tap shoes clap. Music booms. And the dancers, let's just say they've got more experience than most.
So she's the oldest. There you go. All of our dancers are 55 and up. You knew that. Okay.
Cheryl Steinthal has the voice you can't miss.
That was perfect. Often I get that I'm very loud.
She's the director and choreographer of senior dance company
Arlene Spagna, 84.
the New Florida Follies.
Our oldest just turned 97. She does a full split, gets up all by herself.
Cheryl's been dancing since she was 4.
I just loved it.
And that love took her to one of the biggest stages in the world.
2 weeks after graduating high school, I was 17 and a half. I moved up to New York City,
where she became a Radio City Music Hall Rockette.
I was lucky enough to be part of a legend. If you tell somebody you were a Rockette, they were like, whoa, really?
Sheila Phillips danced right beside her at Radio City.
We still call each other sisters. We're part of a sisterhood.
Sheila and I danced in the 70s at Radio City, and now we're dancing into our 70s right here with the Florida Follies.
And that's what the Follies is all about, bringing their love for dance back to center stage.
Everybody do it with Sue Ellen.
Because I love it and because I can. I continue to do it. I will do it until I can't anymore.
Sue Ellen and Henry started dancing together in the 90s.
I noticed there were many more women than men involved. That seemed like a good situation.
And they haven't stopped since.
We're not planning on giving up anytime soon.
Look at my skirt.
Cheryl may have left Radio City.
That's what your fringe is going to do.
But she never left that Rockette mindset behind.
I don't give it to them easy. Go. What are you doing? Stop talking. You can't count to 8? No. No?
The former Rockette knows getting it right takes a lot of practice.
What is it like seeing the show come together? Sometimes it's a miracle. You stopped dead right in front of me and was kicked right in your crotch.
But through technical difficulties...
Wait, I have the wrong song.
Memory slips...
Am I going to remember how this one starts?
And even some new joints.
This year had a hip replacement.
They're ready for the spotlight.
All of a sudden, clicks, and by the time we get to the show, everybody knows what they're doing.
Because behind every step, there's a bigger purpose.
Last year, we gave out $45,000.
The New Florida Follies raises money for children's charities.
I get to do something I love, but I get to do it for a purpose that I believe in.
The older generation taking care of the younger generation.
So we are so happy to come and bring back to school supplies. Our passion is to dance. We love it. And to get to help children in need, there's just nothing better.
And it's that passion that makes the show go on,
You can do these things. It's a heck of a lot of fun.
no matter the age.
Other women have retired or they have studios, and I just want to dance.
So with every tap, turn, and time step,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I never thought in my golden years that I would still be doing this. It's pure pleasure.
they're proving that age isn't a final curtain.
And that's what you get when you're with 55 and up.
It's just another act. Alex Land.
And I always say, give them a good ending. Okay?
The new Florida Follies hit the stage in early 2026 in theaters across South Florida. For more information about performances, head over to our website at WUFT.org.
The above average temperature trend is going to continue for the next 6 days, but then we may have a cool down as we head into Turkey Thursday. I'll have what you need to know coming up after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Motorists are advised to be cautious when driving through Suwannee County. There was fog and possible smoke in the area between State Road 51 and 152nd Road. The Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles urges drivers to be careful when traveling at night and slow down as weather conditions change. UF forecaster Matthew Clark is back in the studio to tell us about how the fog will affect more than just drivers.
Well, if you have any morning activities, the fog has been just not impacting us here across north central Florida, but pretty much everybody across the southeast. These were the fog advisories put into place this morning. The entirety of Alabama, the entirety of Tennessee, mainly along the nature coast of our area were the real dense fog advisories, but most of us did see fog this morning. Fog is also going to be a problem tomorrow morning. Looking at our visibility forecast, even as we head into midnight, mainly along the first coast, that fog will really start to build in and then eventually start to move its way inland. You can see here just lots of low visibility for tomorrow morning around 7 a.m. It's going to be very dense out there, but once that sun starts to rise, the fog conditions are going to start to let up as we head in towards sunrise and then mainly into the late morning hours. Currently, it is 83 degrees. It has been another hot day, near record-breaking temperatures. The record on this day was 88 degrees. We reached 85 degrees, so it was pretty hot out there. It's also been a little bit more humid. Dew point of 62 degrees. That's not quite summertime dew points, but regardless, it was just pretty warm and toasty out there today. 83 sitting in Gainesville right now, 82 in Ocala, 82 in Stark, pretty much still in the 80s at this hour as that sun is setting in just 15 minutes. Another thing that continues to get worse is drought conditions, and I expect drought to continue to get worse before it gets better. This map updates every Thursday, so today the latest rendition of this map has exceptional levels of drought near Tallahassee and southern Georgia, and pretty much all of our area across north central Florida is seeing some kind of dry conditions from Marion County. The further north you go, the more extreme that it gets for portions of Suwannee, Columbia, and Union County. It is very dry outside, and those drought conditions are only going to continue to worsen. And it's not like Mother Nature has completely shut off the weather valve. I mean, we've seen lots of sunshine, blue skies here across north central Florida. We can thank this area of high pressure system that has basically just been deflecting every front off to the north. And there's another front currently situated along the plains, bringing in downpours and thunderstorms across central Texas. We could really use some of that rain. Unfortunately, that high pressure system, as long as it is in place, it is going to deflect these fronts and keep the rain and cooler weather up to our north. This evening, we're in for another moderate evening. Once that sun starts to set, we'll still be in the 70s, clear skies, and then fog is going to be a concern after midnight, early morning hours. Temperatures waking up tomorrow morning are going to be in the lower 50s again, but then we're going to heat up into the mid 80s by the afternoon. Another warm, sunny, and humid day as we're getting winds from the south-southwest at around 3 miles per hour, bringing in just a little bit more moisture from the Gulf and the Atlantic, making us feel a little bit warmer than it actually is. Saturday, we have a game in the Swamp as Tennessee takes on the Florida Gators. Temperatures are going to be pretty warm out there tailgating. Fortunately, it is a night game, so those temperatures are going to be a little bit more moderate in the nighttime. And over the next 6 days, those temperatures are still going to be pretty warm. But Thursday, you may notice a cool down, which is Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving travel plans could be impacted by our next main weather system maker that is going to move its way across the nation as we head into Travel Wednesday, and we could even start to see some showers move its way through our area as we head into Thanksgiving. Now, regardless, it's not going to be enough to clear out our drought, but we're going to continue to monitor this system as we head in towards Turkey Thursday. Thanksgiving, 76 degrees, a much needed cool down as we head in towards that time next week, but still 80s across the board. I know for sure I am looking forward to those cold weathers being back here in North Central Florida.
That is what I'm thankful for. Today was way too hot, especially in this blazer. Was not having it.
Fortunately, it won't be as cold as it was for Veterans Day. That was cold. It won't be that cold.
I'm just excited to get some cool weather for the holidays.
No, ugly sweaters. Bust them out.
Today marks the Transgender Day of Remembrance, where communities come together to mourn, honor, and pay tribute to transgender people who lost their lives due to anti-trans violence. The Tranquility Transgender Community Group and Pride Community Center of North Central Florida are inviting locals to a candlelight vigil at Bo Diddley Plaza. It starts at 7 p.m. to honor the lives lost this year to transphobic violence. The organization was started in 1999 and is recognized internationally.
Last year we had a good amount of people who give their testimonials, and they get so emotional that they cry.
At the event, there will be helpful resources, live performances, and time for the audience to go on stage and share their story. There will also be police presence before, during, and after the event to ensure safety.
Coming up after the break, we have basketball and more basketball. WUFT's Heather McKenzie is live to preview the Gators' in-state rivalry matchup against Florida State tonight. And Florida men's basketball head coach Todd Golden spoke to the media ahead of tomorrow's home matchup. All coming up after we're back from the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back to sports. I'm Jada Ross. It's a big night for basketball around Alachua County. WUFT's Heather McKenzie joins us live from the O'Connell Center as the Gators gear up for their showdown with in-state rival Florida State.
The Florida Gators women's basketball team will be taking on in-state rivals FSU tonight right here at the O-Dome. As you can see behind me, fans are already lining up to watch. The team is hoping to bounce back from their first loss of the season against Navy on Sunday. But this seems to be the least of the team's worries. Their star player, Liv McGill, is out with a leg injury, and the team will need to figure out how to adjust to this adversity to win games. Without McGill, the sophomore forward Mariah O'Neal and Layla Reynolds were expected to step up against Navy. And they did lead for Florida, with Reynolds dropping 19 points and 5 assists, while O'Neal scored 14 points and 6 rebounds. But not enough for a Florida win against the Goats. Moving on to the game tonight, the Gators have not defeated the Seminoles in 3 years. Last year, Liv McGill scored a then career high of 28 points against FSU, but it was still not enough to pull off the win. Florida is 4-1 and undefeated at home, while the Seminoles are 3-2 so far this season. Is Liv McGill the true glue of the team, or can Florida pull off this win against FSU without her? Tip-off is set for 6:30 p.m. tonight. Reporting live from the O'Connell Center, Heather McKenzie, WFT Sports.
Staying on the hardwood, Florida men's basketball is in full preseason swing with a third home game against Merrimack tomorrow night. Head coach Todd Golden spoke to the media earlier today, and he recognized how important it is for every player to be ready and accurate in order for this team to be successful.
Merrimack brings a unique challenge, playing 40 minutes of zone, and obviously we have not shot the ball well from the perimeter yet, so will be a good challenge for us that way. But everybody that is dressed has to be ready.
Tomorrow's meeting is the second between the Warriors and Gators in program history. The last time the two met, Florida defeated Merrimack by 20 after being down by 1 at halftime. Thomas Houck also spoke to the media today and noted how important tomorrow's game will be for building this team's confidence and getting everyone reps. Tip-off will be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. High school basketball season is finally here. Most local teams won't begin their season until December, but a few schools will start this week. Buchholz will open up their season against PK Young at home with a 7:30 tip-off tonight. Santa Fe High will also play their first game of the season tonight at 7:30 against Sewanee. JHS is away at North Marion tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. and not on the screen, but Oak Hall will host St. Francis Catholic Academy tomorrow at 7:30 p.m.
Finally, moving on for basketball, Gators football is back at home to host SEC rival number 20 Tennessee. There's a lot of pride and nostalgia rooted in Saturday's game, as Florida hasn't lost to Tennessee in the Swamp since 2003. Despite Florida being 3-7, fans are still showing out to the game, marking the 17th straight sellout for the Gators. If Florida loses, interim head coach Billy Gonzalez will be in dangerous territory of being the second interim coach in program history to go without a win. Kickoff will be Saturday at 7:30 p.m. The Gators' run at the NCAA Women's Tennis Singles and Doubles Championship ended yesterday. However, the men are still going. Florida doubles pairing Henry Jefferson and Tanapat Nierendorn won earlier today in the round of 16. That's it for sports. We'll take one last look at the weather after the break.
Welcome back. Well, the next 6 days are going to be much of the same. Warm afternoons with lots of sunshine and patchy fog in the morning. But then as we head into Thanksgiving Thursday, we could be seeing our next cool down. And even beyond that, we may be seeing some cooler temperatures back to more seasonable. So definitely much needed cool down. But over the next 6 days, we're going to be seeing lots of sunshine.
Thanks for joining us. We're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on at WUFT.org and on all our social media platforms. Have a good night.